Hey everybody, this is Nature Nate, and in this video I'm going to talk about these Fizan Compact 4 trekking poles. They are very ultralight. Here we go, that's better. And just going to give you the rundown. So I am using them for a little ski tour right now. They're okay for that. But before I get into that, let's talk about the weight and the price. So these run about $80 online, and they're really light. They weigh 6 ounces, and right here as advertised, 169 grams. So they're light. These are really lightweight. They make a compact 3 version as well, and those are slightly lighter. I think, let's see, I think those are like 5.4 ounces or something. So they're measurably lighter. You could save an ounce or two with the poles, but I got the compact 4 just because they do fold down a little smaller. So these will extend to 125 centimeters. So it says here 51 to 125 centimeters. So you can use them for if you're doing ultralight backpacking or something and need it for a shelter with your camp setup, and they require poles. You can use these. They're not the tallest poles ever, but they work well enough. And again, I bet you could get a little bit more out of them if you're using it for a shelter as opposed to putting more kind of a weight-bearing situation where you're actually trekking with these. So I was going to mention for ski touring, they work. You know, they're not. The thing about ski touring is if you lose your balance, especially if you're breaking trail or if you're going up something really steep, you need a pole that's pretty stout so you can use it as a tool more. And these, I have ski toured with these. These work. You definitely will feel them flex when you put a little more weight, and they're aluminum, so you could bend these out in the field. That's definitely a possibility and something to be conscious of. They are crazy light. I mean, when you feel this in your hand compared to a normal ski pole or hiking pole, you're really going to notice the weight. And so again, they work for ski touring, but if you're doing something really ambitious, it might not be the best pole. So just something to consider. As a trekking pole, a hiking pole, they're awesome. Again, they're so lightweight and very user-friendly. If you put them on your pack, you hardly notice them, and then when they're in your hands and you're maneuvering, they're insanely light. So it has just the single handle. There's no lower portion right here, so they're pretty basic hiking poles, and then they have the screwing, locking, tensioning mechanism. And I'm just gonna compress them all the way, compact them, so you can see how that looks and how small these poles actually get. So that's pretty small. So it's really easy to fit these in your pack. That's why the Compact 4 is a little bit heavier, because you can compress them so much. But they're really cool little poles, and they're actually a pretty nice value considering what you're going to get. It's pretty competitive with any ultralight pole on the market. They don't really get much lighter than this, so something to be conscious of. Briefly, I'll talk about aluminum versus carbon fiber. So they both have their ups and downs. They're both incredibly light. Aluminum is more likely to bend, and you can potentially save that. It's tricky, especially with a hiking pole, because you're dealing with you need them to you need them to maintain their integrity of the shape, or else it's gonna have a weak point one, and then you won't be able to compact it if you kind of bend it out of shape. But there are times where you can, if you were to bend the pole, you might be able to get it back into place. It's gonna be weaker than it was before, but it's still gonna work to a degree. With carbon fiber, in that same instance, you don't bend carbon fiber. It's not going to bend out of shape, but what it can do is splinter, and you just kind of it's a make or break kind of situation. If you overstress them, they just break, literally, and at that point there's really no saving them. You could maybe, if you were creative and clever, you could maybe kind of splint them up and make it work that way. Using sticks, and maybe if you had some tape or something, or some cordage, you could probably make something work. It wouldn't be as strong, But anyway, I think aluminum's a good, I can't say one's better than the other per se, but that's kind of the trade-offs. They're both really light, they both do their job well, and they just have different qualities that may be better or worse depending on your use. So anyway, here's the Compact 4, nicely compact, and the way you adjust these, it's super simple, and it's got the numbers here. You literally just open them up and screw them tight, and you screw clockwise to tighten them, counterclockwise to loosen them. It's really simple. They make it user-friendly, and yeah. And as far as use, again, ski touring, maybe not the best, but you can make it work. And oh, here's kind of that little mechanism for you. So you could compromise these plastic pieces too. That's another thing with these screw down poles. They're not quite as heavy duty and durable just in general. So and you could probably makeshift something in the field if you had to kind of repair these, like with some tape or something that you jam in there and get it to work. But thankfully I haven't had to do that. But that's just something that's less tried and true than kind of the tensioning mechanisms that you see, the little what would you call this? Those little like flaps that you just clamp down. Those are going to be more tried and true. Definitely adds weight. So these are in the mind of ultralight, and that's what you get with these poles. And you kind of have to consider them as that. It's not going to be the most durable pole. It's not going to be perhaps the well, durability really is what it comes down to. But for how light they are, they're actually pretty awesome. Again, they've held up to ski touring with going up steep hills and having to really weight the poles. They've held that up to that, and they didn't bend out of shape. They flexed, but they were okay. So in my experience, they're more durable. They're a little more heavy duty than I expected, but you notice that they are an ultralight pole, and you can definitely tell when you lean on them, and they're going to flex out on you a little bit. So I hope this was helpful to you all. These are awesome little hiking poles, and grateful that I got them. So they're the pole I use for backpacking if I'm going to use poles. So hope this was helpful to you all, and hope you all have a good rest of the day. This is Nature Nate, and thanks for watching.